Today we're going to be making some really fun green cupcakes for St. Patrick's Day. So let's get on with the ingredients. 1 cup of white sugar, a half a cup of room temperature butter, and I'm using salted butter in this recipe, 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a half a cup of milk, 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and we need green food coloring. And I have 2 different types here. I have one that's in a paste, and I also have a liquid one. Today we're going to be using the liquid. So, those are the ingredients, so let's get started. Alright, so our first step is to get all of our butter into our bowl. And I'll start mixing that up. And then I'm going to take my sugar and get the sugar in there. And at this point what I want to do is I want to start creaming this together. I want to get the sugar and the butter really well combined. So I'll keep going at this and I'll be back in about a minute or so. Okay, I've been mixing for about a minute or so. You can see it's nicely creamed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my first egg. We'll get our first egg in. And we'll incorporate that. And then egg number 2. So that is our second egg and our final egg. So we have 2 eggs in there now. So we'll just get our mixer going a little quicker and just get all of this really well incorporated. Alright, that's well incorporated. Now I'm going to get my vanilla in there. There we go. Okay, so now we have our baking powder and we have our flour. So I'm just going to take the baking powder, get it in with our flour. I'm just going to take a fork and I'm just going to incorporate the flour with the baking powder, just like that. Alright. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add in some green food coloring, and that is 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to get that in there. Okay, and we'll mix that in. Now if you're going to be using a chocolate cake instead of a vanilla cake like I have here, you're going to have to add more green food coloring. You can see because the cake is much lighter to begin with that we're not using as much. It's very green here. Okay. So at this point I'm going to add a little bit of our flour. Just turn my mixer down a little bit. And a little bit of our milk. And get that all mixed up. I also want you to heat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And we'll add a little bit more of our flour. And the rest of our milk. There we go. Now you can see as I'm adding in more ingredients, you can see that the color is slightly getting lighter. If you wish to add more food coloring, you certainly can. At this point here, we have put in 1 tablespoon of green food coloring. That's the liquid food coloring. So I'll keep mixing this and I'll be back in a second. I'll just add in the rest. There we go. And that is everything in the bowl at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix this up a little bit more and I'll be back when it's completely mixed. Alright, so that's completely incorporated and everything looks great. We'll just spin our beaters a little bit just to get all of the batter right off. There we go, beautiful. Okay, and now we are ready to fill our cupcakes. Okay, so I've got my muffin tin and I've got these little paper liners that you can find at most stores. And I've got myself an ice cream scoop. And we're just going to simply get some of this into each one. Ice cream scoop makes it rather easy. Oh, that looks amazing. There we go. So this recipe makes 12. So I'm going to be baking off 6 at a time. There we go. If you see some of them need a little bit more, just give them a little bit more, depending on the size that you want, because some people don't want them as large, and they might be able to get 15 out of each one. If you want slightly larger ones, just add a little bit more. Alright, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to pop these into my 350 degree Fahrenheit oven for about 25 minutes. I'll tell you exactly how long I baked them when I get back. Alright, the first batch just came out. I just wanted to show you them. And I'm going to do my next batch now. These were in for a total of 25 minutes. So there we go. So I'm going to get on with the next ones. So while our cupcakes are cooling, I'm going to go over the ingredients that I'm going to be using for a cream cheese icing. 1.5 cups of icing sugar, 1/4 cup of butter at room temperature, 1/4 cup of cream cheese, and I'm using Philadelphia. You can use any brand that you wish, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and a little bit of green food coloring, which will give a nice green accent to our cream cheese icing that's going to be perfect for our St. Patrick's Day cupcakes. So those are the ingredients. So let's get started on the icing. Okay, so we'll get our nice butter in the bowl. And then all of our cream cheese. There we go. And the first thing we're going to do is incorporate both of these ingredients together. So we just want to cream these up. Alright, and then I'll get the vanilla in there. And just get that well mixed. Okay, and then I'm going to start adding in the icing sugar. And I'm only going to add the green food coloring at the end, so I know exactly how much to put in. And I'm using that little container versus the large bottle I had earlier because I want to have more control over how much I'm putting in. Because I'm going to be putting little sprinkles, little green sprinkles on the cupcakes later on, and I want a contrast. So I want just a little bit of green going on in this icing, but not too much so that the little green sprinkles kind of disappear, get lost in the icing. So we'll just mix this up. So we do want a contrast of colors. Alright, that's good. So now I've got the green food coloring. I'm just going to put in one little drop. Just like that. And then we'll completely mix this in and see what it looks like. Okay, it's a little bit green. I'll add in one more. I don't want to have it too green. That's starting to look nice now. Okay, I'll be daring and put in one more drop. Just like that. And we'll get that incorporated. There, and I like that. That looks very, very nice. I'll just show you the sprinkles that we're going to be using. Alright, these are little shamrocks that I bought at the bulk food store. Really, really cute. And that's going to offset the color. That looks pretty nice. We might want to put maybe one more drop in there. Maybe I'll do one more drop. So that was 3, I'll do one more. It's kind of got a lime, key lime color going on right now. We'll just get that last bit in and we'll just see. Okay, I'm happy with that. So that was 4 drops of our green food coloring. It's got a really, really nice green tint, and it will still have a nice contrast once we put our little shamrocks on. So that looks good. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put this in the fridge to just chill it a little bit so that it pipes out much better when we put it on our cupcakes. So I'm going to chill that, and I'll be back in a little while. Grab some of our icing. There we go. So this is our cream cheese icing that we made earlier. Just gonna get it all down to the bottom. Where are we here? I'm using a Wilton 1M tip. All right. Maybe I'll just zoom in a little bit. We'll just start in the middle, and then I'm just gonna just like that. There we go, there's one. Let's do another one. My icing is a little bit cold. That's why it broke there. There we go. Beautiful. I do have some little shamrocks. I'm just going to grab those and just put a few on. Just like that. Not too many. There we go. Just spread them out a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, let's do another one. There we go. And throw our little shamrocks on. Aren't those cute? And there we go. So I'm not going to ice them all, but I just wanted to show you a few. So there we go. So these are my St. Patrick's Day cupcakes. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Oh, well, let's just cut into this just to show you the inside. There we go. And there we go. Look at that. Yum.